So, for the Bake Off, they make their own jam, but I have shop bought jam. So, it's a bit of a cheat, but it works either way. First thing I need is the oven on 190. So, there we go. Or 170 fan. So, I'm just going to put it back on 170, in fact. Gas mark 5. Line 3 baking sheets with non-stick baking parchment. 3. How many do I need? 3 baking sheets. Do I have 3? Oh, that's a hot tray. A very hot tray. Bear with me, guys and gals. Let me just get this out. Well, I have 2, but the other one's in use at the moment, so I might have to do 1 and then do another tray. But we'll see. Let me just get a pair of scissors there. And the baking parchment. Just going to quickly line this tray. Awesome. So, for the biscuits, draw 8 circles on each sheet of paper, spaced well apart. I see. Right. The way I'm going to have to do this though is where did I put the cutter? Got a red cutter somewhere. There it is. I have to draw with a pen. Just going to draw 8 circles on this piece of paper. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to do circles on this tray. There we go. I'm just going to have to quickly as well, just to make sure the paper sticks. That one seems okay today. But yeah, just so that they stick. And then obviously when one lot are done, I'll have to swap them and do another 8 circles for the last lot. But we'll worry about that when we get to it. So, in a bowl, I need butter and icing sugar, if that's the correct step I've just read. Tea towel. Measure the butter and icing sugar into a bowl and beat until pale and fluffy. Okay, I don't know what happens with icing sugar. So let's be prepared. Right, so I need 250 grams of unsalted butter, soft unsalted butter, as the recipe says. So, let me grab a bowl. Just grab a normal bowl, because why not? Scales are under that. Need a bit more. Need like 100 grams more, 100 and a bit. fairly good at working out what 100 grams of this is. And you might be right. Did I say 250? Grams. About 3 grams. Sorted. 250. Turn it around so I can see it. 50 of icing sugar. Okay, so quite a lot of butter to icing sugar then. Quickly. So that all goes in there. 50 of icing sugar. Maybe it's best if I do icing sugar straight into the bowl, because that makes sense, right? Icing sugar. Why don't I just grab a load of spoons there? Hold on. Spoon. So I need 50 of this. That'll be alright. 50 of icing sugar, and then we beat it until pale and fluffy. Let me just start moving things out of the way. Gonna need some more of that in a bit. Tidy as you go along, that's my motto. Okay. So in here I have 250 grams of butter and 50 grams of icing sugar. And I'm going to carefully beat it until it's pale and fluffy. Scrape it from down the sides. It's getting there. It's almost there. Just going to quickly ensure that all the butter gets used, rather than having like big chunks of butter in your mixture. So this kind of helps it along the way. Okay, ready to go again. Just flick that in. Looks pretty pale to me. sifting the flour and corn flour. So I need 225 grams of plain flour. And 25 grams of corn flour. I'm going to use another bowl because my metal bowl that I normally use is currently washing. Spoon there. So I need 225 of plain flour. Just going to weigh that out now. Two 225 of plain flour and then just 25 of corn flour. There you go. 25 of corn flour. And then it says to sieve it. Does it say sieve it? Sift, yeah. So I'm just going to get my sieve, hopefully preferably dry. Quick wipe around with a tea towel because you never know. You never know what could be on or around your sieve that stops the flour going through. There we go. Quick dry, indeed. Let me just move that. Right, so now I'm just going to knock that back into the thing so that at least I know it's, you know, within the container. Okay, put that down a minute. Right, so sieve, what I know I should have done. Take that off, put it in. That's already been sieved, right. Okay, right. So after all that, I was being really silly, basically. Okay. And beat well until thoroughly mixed. piping bag. It says you need a starry nozzle. So I have my piping bag. Didn't cut enough off. Make sure you cut the end off. That's like the first thing I always make sure I do. And just squeeze your nozzle out into the bottom. Some people like to do this over a jug or something so that you don't actually lose any of your icing mixture. It's because I'm normally icing with a piping bag, whereas this time I'm not. Let me just flick that flame. Right. So I need to put this mixture into a piping bag now. Where did my spatula go? As you can see, it's quite icing-y consistency, which is what we kind of want. Because if we don't want it to stuck together, because otherwise it will not pipe very well. So now I have to pipe 24 swirls, which will make 12, essentially 12 biscuits. I just have to make sure that I pipe nicely. I was never great at piping, personally, so this is a challenge definitely for me. As was my Jaffa Cakes video, which you will see at an earlier date to this one. So if I make sure the piping bag is nice and packed with this mixture. I'm not going to overfill it, but then again I don't want to underfill it. So we'll keep it at that for now. And then if you've never used a piping bag before, the technique is basically to push all the bags together and then tighten the bag up and just pipe some lovely swirls onto your circles. Some are going to be a bit bigger than others, but that's kind of usual. You will find that some will look bigger than others as you're going along. And obviously you need to make sure you keep filling up your piping bag, because obviously the moment you run out of mixture, and also squidge some of the air out of it, because you will get to points where you notice you've got a bit of air coming through your piping bag. Okay, so I've just realised you didn't see any of that, so I'm going to do a test one on just like a scrap of paper, just so you can see how I've done the ones that you can see. So, get your piping bag, there's not much left in here, and you literally, I'm just going to check you can see this, yeah, you literally just squeeze push around and pull up. And that's how you do your lip swirl. Apologies for not actually showing you that, but I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so just to finish off the Viennese Whirls, you need 100 grams of butter in a bowl. So I'm just going to prepare that now. My camera battery is running out, so I'm going to have to try and do this fairly quickly. There you go. 100 grams of butter to 200 grams of icing sugar. So what I'm now going to do is measure out a quick amount of icing sugar into this bowl. 200 grams I need. Sorted. Come on. Okay, so where I was. You need to make sure your butter and icing are in the bowl and gradually beat them together until they are nice and pale and fluffy. Your biscuits might be a bit crumbly, as I've just discovered. But that's okay, that means they're good, hopefully. Right, just need a spatula again. Apologies, it might be in this one. Don't exactly remember where I put it. Where did I put the spatula? Spatula. Got it. Right. Just going to quickly move it all back down to the middle of the bowl. Oops. Just going to give it a quick beat just to make sure that vanilla's in. And then we will assemble our Viennese Whirls by piping this into the middle of some of our biscuits. There we go, that'll do. Right, so now the fun part, because I need a piping bag again and a nozzle. Now the starry nozzle I used before I'm going to use again for this part because I feel like that's the best nozzle. I'm just going to quickly move the camera as the dishwasher is located next to where the camera is. There it is. And I'm just going to move you back. Okay. So, I'm going to cut the piping bag. In what should be a good spot. Give it a bit of that. Pop the nozzle in. Hope that it goes to the right. No, it needs a bit more cut off this time. Okay, there we go. Open it up. Now I have only got 8/16 to ice, so what I'm going to do is very carefully put 8 of them upside down onto a plate, so that when it comes to icing I can just literally ice them as they are. And because they are so short and so crumbly, I have to be very careful with them. Okay, so I may have done a bit of an issue. I may have had an issue in that my pen mark from where I did my rings has actually come onto my biscuits. But I don't know if you can tell. You may be able to tell. I'm sure you can. But it'll be fine. I just know, remember for next time to ensure that you don't use pen, because they do actually go onto your biscuits. But anyway, let me flick most of this off into my bowl, so that I believe I only pipe onto one side. Okay, I see. So I need the jam first. Need it to knife. Jam. So I just literally need a bit of jam onto each one. Because then you pipe buttercream on top of the jam from what I gather. Oopsies, that might be quite a bit. I'm not going to overload with jam if I can help it, because I feel like they'll become very slippy. So I'm just quickly putting a splodge on each biscuit if I can get it on there. And I'm going to spread it out. Obviously, if you made your own jam, you'd be doing a similar thing. I cheated because I have a jar of jam, but I think it still works the same. So I'm just carefully spreading. I don't know how I'm going to manage to spread and place lids on because they seem so crumbly, but I think that's a good thing. I think if they're very crumbly, it's a good thing. I think that's what a Viennese Whirl should be. I think we are generally a crumblier kind of biscuit. Pinch a bit off there. There we go. Okay. Right. So once you've jammed it up a bit, see what I did there? Then you need to get your icing into a piping bag. Now there's no real easy way of doing it. I'm just going to have to do it the way I normally do it. And then if you give the bag a bit of a shake, it gets it to the bottom. And you know when it's almost time, because the dog comes around by your feet as if to say, what's going on? Because I've been in this kitchen for a while. Right, so I'm just going to ensure all of my mixture is in the piping bag in a secure way. Right, and then I'm just going to pipe maybe I'll do it as a little swirl. Don't want loads of it. Maybe it's probably better to just do little things. There you go. So okay, there may be quite a lot on those. But if you're going to eat one of these anyway, I say why not make it a big one. I'm going to call these the giant Viennese Whirls because they are giant. They are bigger than you expect them to be, usually. However, they do look very good. How many? If I sound different to normal, I am not feeling very well at the moment, but I